Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Detail. ACA 520 from 3D is probably one of the few 3D correction fluids that I have not showcased on the channel. I'm a huge fan of the ACA 500, which is the extra cut compound, and this you can use either to follow up, to use as one step, and do some paint enhancements. Here on this panel where we've done some previous testing, we have sand marks, 2000 grit underneath, 3000 on top, and some other deeper ones down below. And I will demonstrate using different polishers, different polishing pads, teamed up with the 520. Let's start with the micro polisher from Adams here. The ACA abrasives, or the ALPHA CERAMIC ALUMINA abrasives, are unmatched compared to many of the other correction fluids I've tried here at the shop, and it's what we do every day, all day in preparation for coatings. It does give you a quick correction, a high-speed correction, and also does that with keeping the temperatures down on each panel. And that is important to us. We are clear coat friendly here, and we like to introduce the least amount of stress to a vehicle's finish as possible as we're prepping it. So here's just a little demonstration and the results from a small micro polisher with a short throw. Not a very aggressive pad. And it actually did better than some of the longer throw polishers in the other sections. So this is another option you can come back to and maybe investigate if you're getting into enhancements or one steps. It's really what we do the most here at the shop now with the thin, soft clear coat that manufacturers have been giving us lately. All right, let's give it a go with a 3-inch polisher next, and this pad attached to the polisher is your fiber 50-50 pad. 50% of the fibers are cutting, and the other 50 are for finishing. By the way, the ACA 500 has no fillers, no silicones, no kerosene, or any type of solvent. It is water-based. What you see is what you get, and it does a great job on single-stage clear-coated cars, hard clear, soft clear. We show the positives and negatives on the channel here, and one of the negatives would be the oily feel that the correction fluid has to it. It's really nothing that would keep me away from using the product, but it is definitely something I wish could be cut back on just ever so slightly. Okay, we've taken a quick look at some of the capabilities. Let's take a look at the limitations. I'm going to grab a polisher with a 15mm throw. This has direct drive, so it's forced rotation as well. But the pad isn't really that aggressive, so let's see if it removes the 3000 grit and the 2000 grit, and hey, maybe even some of the deeper scratches underneath. But this is where you'll see the product's limitations, and you'll know where to draw the line. Okay, so after a crisscross pattern, which is equal to 2 passes, it has removed the 3000 grit. It had some trouble with 2000 grit. So yeah, there are limitations to the product, just like there are any other limitations, but it's good to find out where they are so you can adjust. Let's go to some real world work with the product, correcting a vehicle, prepping it for a coating. And here we have some love marks, a little bit of swirling, and then we have a heavier scratch or a cluster of scratches towards the back of the quarter panel. We'll go after both of them and see what it can do. Let's team up the ACA 520 with a Lake Country CCS pad. These pads are great for keeping the temperature down on panels. Those little pockets can induce airflow, and that does really help keeping the temperatures down on the panel. So if you're working on the panel where the panel's room temperature and you're spiking temperatures in one small area, going back and forth and over again, that's a ton of stress on the clear coat. I've mentioned this before, but we have a lot of new subscribers, and I want to just make that clear that there are 3 layers to a car's finish: the primer, base coat, clear coat, and when they heat up, they all expand as they heat up in different directions. That could be a lot of stress, and you want to definitely limit that as much as you can. Keeping the speed of the polisher down, keeping the pressure back, cut it back a little bit. There's no need for a ton of pressure on a polisher. I normally use my thumb on the top of the polisher here. I normally grip it the exact same way, so I can either lift and take weight off of the polisher or push down with my thumb, but it's never more than what's equivalent to a firm handshake. The oiliness, so to speak, of the product evident as I'm wiping off just takes a little bit longer to get all of that off of there, but it does a fantastic job. You can see how far it finished down after removing those love marks. Let's go back to the back of the quarter panel, attack these little clusters of deeper scratches, and see what it can do. Okay, so with little effort at all, I'll bring you in closer, and you can see that it took care of those little clusters of scratches. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to run over and grab some panel prep, and we'll wipe down this whole back rear quarter panel here, just to make sure, even though it states there's no fillers, with the oiliness that I feel, that still has the capability of doing some filling, maybe unintentional, but let's find out. So there you go. It worked perfectly fine. Now, keep in mind, this is soft, thin, clear coat, and it does team up well with the newer cars with the water-based soft, thin, clear coat. So you can add this to the list of other one-steps and polishes that I have recommended for enhancements and your one-steps, or even to finish down a multi-step correction. We pulled the car out into or under my worst critic, the sunlight, and it came out very well. This has been Brian from Apex Detail. Only order the products, as I've mentioned before, since this channel started, if you need them. Don't load up your shelves like I do and hoard products. I'll catch you guys in the next video.